What is up, fam? Agent O here with another action figure review, and today I have the Marvel Legends Infinite Series X-Men Jubilee figure. I finally got all the pieces and parts and whatnot to put the figure together, and now I'm ready to do the review. But you might be asking yourself, Agent O, why no figure in the front of the camera? And that is because I didn't even get this figure out of the fucking blast mold before I already had problems with it. So so this is it in the package. I put it back in the package, and you can't tell yet because of the whole exclusive only at Toys R Us, you know, sticker, but there's issues with it. So I'm gonna get it open and I'll show you what the problem actually is. Alright, so I got it open, and this is one thing that I really don't like about this line. Like, everybody likes the packaging. I think the packaging is okay. I don't really care about packaging. You never really see me talk about it in my reviews because to me the figure is more important than the package. I mean, you can have a really nice looking package and have a really shitty figure on the inside. So, you know, unless you're, you know, I know there's people out there who collect and they don't take their figures out of the package, you know, so that's why they want something that looks really nice and presentable for as a display. And I get that, but I'm not one of those people, so you're never gonna see me talk about it. But yeah, anyway, I hate the way they make this blast molding, you know, where they have these figures in these fixed poses, because I think it does more damage than good when it does more bad than good when you have figures with gummy joints and you put them in these fixed poses. Like, you can see her knees already getting bent out of shape. Like, I've got pictures and stuff that I'll show along with this review, but you know, her knees are already out of shape, and because of, you know, this blast molding. I don't know why they use this dumb shit. Like, they should just once again, I'm gonna have to use Bandai as an example of what you should fucking do with your figures. And you see he's just in a regular standing pose, relaxed standing pose, and you know, the blast mold isn't exactly holding it in. They've got this piece of plastic on top that once you take it off, I'm not going to take it all the way off, but you take it off and you can just remove the figure. Like, he comes right out. You don't have to pull him out of the fucking molding because it's being held down there. And if Marvel doesn't want, I mean, if Hasbro doesn't want to use, like, if they don't want to use another extra piece of plastic, if they want to save money, then they can just use the fucking, this cover piece, you know, it's already molded. Let me show you real quick. It's already, this blast mold is already molded in the shape of the rest of the box. They should just use this as that top piece and just have the figure rest inside of its you know, relaxed blast mold, and have this top cover piece keep it in place. And that's it. Simple as that. You know, but it seems like Hasbro always takes one step forward and then 10 steps back sometimes with shit that they do. But anyway, I'm gonna put the rest of the figure together and we can get on with the rest of the review. I just wanted to point that out because it really irked me, because I spent a lot of time searching for this figure and I'm already having problems with it, and I'm not about to go out and try and hunt down another Storm figure, you know, so that I can have a body that isn't, you know, all fucked up from the jump. So anyway, here we are, figures all put together and everything, and yeah, this is it. I mean, this isn't really a terrible figure. If it wasn't for these knee joints, I would actually be really happy with it. You know, because I guess I'll just talk about the posability actually. It's pretty standard for a, you know, Marvel Legends figure. Most of the, you know, it's got decent, since it's on a ball joint, you know, it works pretty well. She gets a lot of good up and down motion. Her elbows, once again, you have the elbow joint and the bicep swivel in the same spot, and I hate that because you twist her arm and once again it looks like it's broken. But she's got ball joints in her shoulder, and yeah, it's a ball swivel, and I mean, it works. You get a lot of good range of motion. Her jacket, you know, jacket trench coat doesn't really get in the way. I mean, it works pretty well. You know, the problem I have mostly is with the knees, because I'll have to like use some hot water or something to get these back in the right shape. And the fact that she's flat-footed and doesn't have heels or anything actually works to her advantage. She's a bit easier to pose, but I think the problem that I have with posing these figures and having them stand is because that with other Marvel Legend figures, that peg where the foot comes in, it comes straight down. It doesn't come in at an angle. Like you can see with her foot, you can see that the peg is at the top of is inserted inside that arch of the foot. And for some reason I feel like that offsets the figure some, but that's just me. I mean, maybe that's just me. She's also got ball jointed hips, and this actually works pretty well for this figure. She's got she's got decent like leg extension, so she can throw kicks and shit, and get into those wide stance poses that everyone loves so much, including me. But yeah, I mean, posability is pretty standard, and it would be even better. The posability would be even better if her knee joints weren't so shitty, and weren't so loose and gummy. And I wish they would go back to the old school way they were doing the ankle rocker joints on the legs. They're like the swivel, the peg and the swivel piece feel like they're made out of a more malleable plastic. So you still get a decent rotation, but sometimes it feels like it catches, and it sometimes feels like that peg is twisting before it starts to turn with the foot. But that being said, that's pretty much it for the posability. I mean, there isn't really much to talk about. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry, there is one more thing. I forgot about this weak ass diaphragm joint. This diaphragm joint is weak as fuck. Like the jacket isn't even obstructing her from bending. This is like it. This is as far back as it goes. So you can have her standing straight, or you can have her standing straighter. But that's it. Like, this is why I say that they should just give female figures, they should give these female figures an ab crunch. Just give them a fucking ab crunch. Give them an ab crunch and a hip swivel and call it a day. Like that, I don't see what the problem is. I mean, I know they have like 3 or 4 different, top upper torso pieces, and like 3 or 4 different lower torso pieces, and they just alternate between them for all the different female figures. So they're being cheap that way. But why not just give us at least give us a fucking ab crunch? Just give me an ab crunch, man, because this is stupid. But anyway, enough of that. I'm gonna talk about the paint apps next. Okay, and now we got the paint apps that I wanted to get to, and there really aren't a whole lot because the arms are cast in yellow. The jacket's all one color, it's cast in yellow. Her body's all cast in black, and all you see, the only paint app you have is the silver zipper. All the paint apps are basically in her face, and even they didn't even get that right, at least on my figure. And I got pictures that you'll see up close where they kind of jacked up her mouth. It's too bad because I think the head is a nice sculpt, and even though it would have been kind of cool if these glasses were kind of removable, like they could fit up in the head, but then you could remove them and put them over her face. That would have been really awesome if they had found a way to fit that in. Just because I just saw pictures of the new Transformers Generations Windblade, and she has this, and since she's based off of a geisha look, she has this gold fan in her head, and the fan can be taken out of her head and you can hold it in her hand. So why they could do that with that figure, and somebody at Hasbro, they both work at Hasbro, both Transformers and X-Men are being licensed by Hasbro. So why they couldn't do that with this figure too, with her sunglasses, I don't know. It would have been cool if they had, but it's too bad that they didn't think of it. Maybe they didn't think of it, I don't know, maybe they were lazy, who knows. But that would have been awesome if they had pulled that off. But yeah, the rest of her face is fine except for where they put the lipstick. It just looks kind of sloppy, like somebody needs to really fix her face. And maybe I'll do that at some point. I'm not really in any rush. But she doesn't come with very many accessories. She just comes with her energy, the little energy effect pieces. And these are actually kind of cool because it's like they put glitter in them to give it a little extra energetic, you know, pop. Since you know her powers always kind of look like fireworks going off. So that was kind of a nice touch, and it kind of reminds me of the old Jim Lee, Jack Kirby, when they used to draw the balls of energy with the little black dots in between, you know, black dots in the middle and all over the place. So it gave it a little extra, you know, effect. And you know, this kind of works in the kind of the glitter kind of works in kind of the same way with that. I don't know if my camera's picking it up, but I've got pictures of it up close, so I'll just use those to fill in if the camera's not doing its job. This second piece though, it doesn't really, I don't know, maybe I just didn't figure out how it's supposed to fit in, but it fits in kind of loose in her hand. So you gotta kind of be careful. I don't know if I'm just doing it wrong, which is definitely possible, but yeah, I mean it stays once it's in there, but I think it just fits in kind of loose. But yeah, I mean, that's really, I mean, I really can't think of anything else to really talk about, both good and bad, about this figure. You know, we've all of us collectors have been waiting like forever to get a Jubilee figure to complete our X-Men collection. You know, I've been wanting to get a Jubilee figure forever so I could have, you know, my 1990s X-Men team. And now that we finally got it, I just don't think like this figure should have been a Build-A-Figure. It should have just been released along, you know, alongside the rest of the X-Men, and they should have had something else better as a Build-A-Figure. Instead of having that Wolverine that we already got with a different head, they should have just gave us the Jubilee in place of that. And I don't know, maybe give us a better Bishop figure, because that figure fucking sucks. That would have been cool. Instead of Strife, I don't know, instead of Strife, we could have had a 90s Scott. You know, 90s Jim Lee style, you know, Cyclops that looks a lot better than the one that we got, because that one looks like he's been malnourished for a while. Or even we could have got a Professor X, a 90s Professor X in the green jumpsuit with the gold hover wheelchair, you know, because we got that so long ago, and we could use a new one, a new revamped version of that. I don't know, that would go a long way, and I could see people easily buying that. I saw somebody selling a custom that they did on eBay, and it sold for, the really good one, it sold for like $300 easy. And then there was another one I saw recently, maybe I can find it if it's still up for auction, and I'll take some screenshots of it. But that one was already getting kind of pricey too, and it wasn't even in that great a condition. So I don't know, there's so many other choices they could have done with this X-Men line than what they chose to do. I mean, this figure is okay, but it's just meh. Like, there really isn't anything that makes me feel like, wow, this is just exceptionally great. You know, honestly, this whole line has just been meh to me, but you know, that's just my opinion. Like I said, it's still worth having, because unfortunately this is the only Jubilee figure we've got, and I wish they would just stop using these joints, man. These joints suck. I just can't get over how bad these joints are. But yeah, I mean, that's really gonna do it. I got nothing else to add. I kind of wish, I don't know, I just wish it had came out better, especially for how much people are, you know, paying on eBay for this figure complete. You know, it just would have been better. It would have been a better idea if Hasbro had just released this as a regular figure. Like, you already know people want this figure, so why make it a Build-A-Figure just to push the rest of the line of figures that nobody really wants? Then you should just put figures in the line that people want to fucking buy. That way you wouldn't have this problem. It just seems like common sense. But it's whatever. I got nothing else to add. Like I said, this is an okay figure. It definitely could be better in some aspects, in several aspects. You know, better paint apps, ab crunch, better feet, and definitely better knee joints. And that's pretty much it. I'll catch you guys on the next review. I'm Agent O, and I'm out. Peace. And one more thing I forgot to mention during the Jubilee review, that I have an extra Build-A-Figure Jubilee right arm that comes with that Cyclops figure that you can get just about anywhere. So, but if you don't want that arm, if you don't want the Cyclops figure, I mean, then hit me up in the comments, and maybe we can work out a trade or sale. You know, sale wise, you know, I can sell it for $7 to $10 with shipping included, because I'm not really trying to scalp anybody. I think that's a pretty fair price. As far as for trade, I'm really looking for a right leg Sentinel Build-A-Figure piece, because that's the last piece I need in order to finish my Sentinel figure. I'd really like to have that complete in my collection. So yeah, if you got an extra right leg Sentinel that you're willing to part with because you don't have any other use for it, then hit me up in the comments and we can work something out. Or if you just want to pay $7 to $10 for it, then that's fine too. So yeah, that's gonna pretty much do it. Let me know what you want. Let me know what you're interested in, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.